what you said to your spouse. He doesn't look at you that way. It doesn't mean that he doesn't know it, but he doesn't look at you that way. In your spirit, you are a new creation. If you are in Jesus Christ. That's so amazing, I think. The good news is that he did something inside of you, and that starts to work itself out in the way you start thinking, in the way you start feeling, and it might take years. In the way you start wanting certain things, the way you start not wanting certain things. But here's the thing. If you don't start where Jesus said this is who you are, and you still measure up yourself by who you think you are, based on your performance, well, guess what? The gospel can never ever transform you. All this good stuff that I'm talking about, it's as if you go to a doctor and the doctor prescribes you 3 medicines. 3 medicines. It's like you need to take these 3 medicines. Right? The doctor knows what he is saying. Doctor knows best, right, Janis? And you as a stubborn patient, you look at yourself like, yeah, I'll take 1 medicine. But yeah, the other one, I'm not so sure about that. Well, Janine and I, we have very stubborn dads that take lots of medicines for diabetes and all kind of things. We know everything about dads that don't want to follow through on their prescription. And guess what? If we don't follow through on our prescription of what the gospel really wants to do, you might still feel forgiven, but it's not really transforming your life. God still might look like 1,000 kilometers away from you, whereas He is actually living right inside of you. He's right here. God is right here. He lives inside of me, and He wants to live inside of you. If you don't start where Jesus finished on the cross, where He said, it is finished, it's done, sin is kaput, it's over, and you can now live in a right relationship with Him, if you embrace that gospel and you see yourself the way God sees you, not who you think you are, but who God sees you, guess what? All of a sudden, those anger temperance is like, I got some, whatever. There were moments, and Janine knows it very well, that I got angry over things and I did not know where it came from. It had to do with my parents. Unforgiveness, certain things that I was just angry about. And at times I would get angry at myself, or I would vent it on the kids, or I would vent it on her, at moments that I didn't want to. And I started wondering, like, why am I this way? Because I didn't have an understanding of this. I was still looking at myself and always trying to measure myself up as a human doing, not as a human being. I cry for you. When I pray for you, I cry that you can see this. I cry that you can see this. That you do not measure up yourself all the time like, oh, I got it wrong, I got it wrong, I got it wrong. Because a lot of people in the church, out of the church, they think Christianity is everything about doing. Just doing the right stuff. Just doing this. Just doing that. Just doing this. Just doing that. And guess what? The power of the gospel can then not transform you. Because guess what? You can try to bite your lip. But if somebody rubs you the wrong way, guess what happens? You can try as hard as you want. I'm going to try to work on myself. Well, good luck with it. You won't be able to. You have to start where Jesus finished. When you start there, you look at yourself and say, like, God has accepted me. He has forgiven me. That's why I can forgive everybody else. It's not because everybody did me right. I can tell you a whole story of all kind of people that did me very wrong. Extremely wrong. But as God has forgiven them, who am I then to withhold forgiveness to them? We confuse forgiveness with justice. It's like, oh, you don't know what that person did in my life. Well, that might be something really, really bad. I get it. I'm not saying that it was right. I'm just saying, like, forgiveness, to be free of all of that stuff, is first of all for yourself. Simply the chain that might be with a person in your life that you remember very well, like, oh, I wish that didn't happen in my life. If you release it, so like, you know, I forgive that person. We expect justice, and we think justice. But forgiveness is actually something totally different. It means actually that the chain that is keeping you in prison, not the other person, is keeping you in prison, is being released. If you can start there, knowing that you're forgiven, justice will still be with God. Things that were not right will be made right one day. You will have a renewed authority. You will be walking in a power and authority. That's not a super Christian stuff like, oh, those are those weirdos. No. I thought that for so many years. There were people that started speaking all kind of very weird languages. It's like, what on earth is this all about? I want to stay as far away from that as possible. That's what I thought. I grew up in a home where that stuff was not normal. So like, I don't want any of it. But when I started to see that God wanted to use me as well to proclaim the kingdom of God, and it started to transform people around me, I saw people getting healed. I saw people literally getting set in Brazil, in Holland, set free from devils. They're like, yeah, that doesn't exist anymore. Oh, yes, it does. Oh, yes, it does. Now, you don't need to see all the crazy manifestations that you see in those horror movies, but it does exist. And He's calling you, and He's calling me into that story. To live the good news. I think that's amazing. You don't need to be looking for your identity anymore, trying to figure out who you are. You're completely free. You're not determined how people are doing you in your life. And guess what? When you start in that, even the other stuff that you know very well that you're not living up to, in your emotions, in your thoughts, and all of that stuff, that starts to transform gradually as well, as an apple. You see the outside, maybe you see all the little bruises and stuff, and this is you, but because God changed something from the inside already, it started to work its way out. And before you know it, this looks like a very beautiful apple. God loves you. God loves you. Can you be embraced by that love? If you think this is just a course, we just go through some manuals and some papers and stuff, then I don't even want it. I'm not interested in it. As I said, I cry for you at night. And I really do, and I really mean it. Shanini sometimes also prays and we cry for people. Not because we're sad for you, because we want you to see something that God also has shown to us. It's not to try to convince you of my opinion. It's simply understanding, like when you embrace the gospel, your life is going to look very, very different. Very, very different. I'm going to do something in Engage. I'm not going to ask you all kind of questions.